So I want to show you how all of this is put together. So obviously we talked about imagining that instant access to the strategic thinking of the world-class business experts and having the power of an AI-driven board of advisors built for you. What it is structured guided thinking. So this isn't impersonation at all. This is taking the information of the advisors that is available online and to the ChatGPT in this case. You can do this with Claude. You could do this with Gemini. And first, it defines their role, what they're going to be doing for you. It synthesizes their expert principles and perspectives from documents that are online. So let me see who's jumping in here. Okay. Rather than simply impersonating them. Okay. So understand this isn't anything that is being made up. Okay. So there's 4 pillars of truth and trust in the content. First of all, it is known teachings of these individuals, again, that is available to, in this case, ChatGPT. The cross-checking, because we're including just not one advisor, although you can choose when you're working with your advisors, you can choose to speak only to one while you have it. It's about having that balanced perspective and feeling like it's a real board meeting. The structured logic is that we're using the information that's online that is their information. And because it learns about their tone, it also will use quotes they might say on a regular basis in the documentation to make it authentic. So when they're talking, because of the fact that this is going to be in a conversational manner, we could have it bullet point for people who aren't comfortable with actually having Tim Bingaman talk like Tim Bingaman to you. So just so you know, Jim, Tim's been asked twice. Human interpretation. So when it comes down to it, whatever is shared with you, it's your decision what you want to do with anything that's shared with you from your trusted advisors. Okay. Where it comes from, the foundation of it comes from the information that the influencers, expert, thought leaders have generously shared throughout the world. Some might come from Wikipedia. Some might come from their books, their frameworks, podcasts, blog posts, any case studies or documentation, things of that nature. How it helps you is you're accessing their information based on your needs rather than reading a book and being able to pull out 2 or 3 ideas from the book that says, yes, I want to implement this. Instead of reading the book, you are able to pull what you need at that time from the book that they've written that's public, and be able to use that. Because it's more than one person, you're going to be learning from multiple perspectives. Applying the expert thinking to your specific challenges. Again, what I had said before, being able to pull it out of something that they've shared, say on a podcast or an interview, that you can be able to use. And because it's being given to you in a more of a little bite-sized pieces, it's much faster. And you're more informed that way. Okay. So there's trust through transparency. There's three key elements. The information is grounded content, and you are the owner. You are going to be in control of anything that happens with the information that's shared. Again, you remain in charge of all the final decisions. And, this is just really reiterating what the previous slide shared. But your takeaways are that the advisors are curated, they're not random. This is not information that's going to be made up by ChatGPT because it thinks it has to. The content is grounded in published information from these individuals. And again, for the third time, you remain in charge of its interpretation. And now, are we ready to move forward to see how this works? So, Margaret sent me her wish list of her 5 individuals that she wants on her board of advisors. And because of having built a very robust customized chatbot for a trainer, I realized how I needed to sort of resource the information in a way in which it's small files and the information is you're getting the most from the information of each individual. So I created my very own Bob. Bob is my board of advisors builder. He's my baby, okay? And he helps me to learn about the information for each individual that I build, because I start by discovering Franklin Shopper. Okay, so what I did was I provided Bob with a way in which to learn about Margaret Ely, okay, from what was online and what I know. And it included her information from MACPA. It included her information from Franklin Shopper. I took the about from Franklin Shopper. It also asks how you want to use the board of advisors. So I used general perspectives that, because Margaret wasn't there, and we can change this around, by the way, Margaret. I asked for revenue. I want her to have a 25% increase next year. It could be more, whatever she wants. And I also asked that the board of advisors are to give her advice on how to work with the younger generation, how to encourage advertisers to work with them, and those types of things when I set it up. Okay. So Bob, I'm not going to go through and show you what Bob does because it gets very geeky. You'll see that when I start building out her board of advisors. But I will show Jim because he'll want to see this. This is Mac, and Mac is our MACPA board of advisors. And they've been very helpful in many ways. The people who are on our virtual board of advisors are Kevin Slimp, Ryan Dorn, Tim Bingaman, Peter Wagner, John Faust, John Draper, Peter Lamb, and Steve Waldman. And they're on the board of advisors for us, for Mac, because of the fact that they have been for us influencers and advisors themselves for our members. So this one is very community oriented. I actually went into ChatGPT and also asked it to provide us with community leaders for free community papers. And that's why John Draper, he came up. Peter Lamb came up. Peter Wagner came up. But so I have, this is called, and if you ever see these bubbles in any of the, if you use ChatGPT and you see these bubbles, they're called conversation starters. So I did nothing but just click on this. So this is a great question. Let's pull in, and it chooses from tags that have been added to each one of these individuals. It provides me with the individuals on here. Okay. So Peter Lamb kicks it off because he always seems to kick it off. He wants to talk first. So you want to build a network story that advertisers can't ignore, and he shares information about that. And then Ryan Dorn comes along. He's spot on. I'd add that this is about sales enablement. Someone in the network should be the point person for national and regional ad buys and so on. And then Tim comes along. Don't forget to use readership research. Okay. Peter, if you can, from a network sales committee, 2 or 3 sales-minded folks from your member papers to help identify leads and share best practices. Okay. So this is ours. Now I can ask it more questions. Like, one of the things we're doing is we lost an internal advertiser for us, and we're doing some advertising on MacNet. And I put an ad together without asking the advisors, and shame on me, because I didn't hit the mark. I was more, this is who we are. This is who we are kind of thing. And it was a terrible ad. But then I came back and I asked Ryan Dorn, and I think it was John Draper, how to write better ad copy based on this. And now I have ad copy to use going forward, consistency, and everything else. So I'm able to, by having this board of advisors, help me to really hone in on making changes and improvements for the for MACPA. Okay, so normally this is a new chat on ChatGPT. And is everybody using ChatGPT?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The
All right.
The paid version.
Yes. Yes. So this has to be built on the paid version. I can share the link for each one of these that I have. I can share that link to people who have the free version, no problem. So say, Ruth, you do not have the paid version yet, say, and you want to build one of these. What I would do is I can build it on my end and just share with you the link. Okay. So what I clicked on is it's GPTs over here in this area and the Explorer. Okay. And this is an area where you can go in and you can look at, I use the video summarizer here to write the secretary's report for MACPA. But I'm going to go in the upper right corner where it says My GPTs. Okay. And I'm going to create a GPT. Now, here you have 2 options. If you don't want to get into and you want to try this just for fun, or just to see what it would do, you can just click on create and you can describe your GPT, what you wanted, your customized chatbot, and you can put it in here and just have it you describe it there, and that's it. But because I have parts that I know I want to put in for this, I'm going to go into configure, and configure is going to allow me to name it, describe it, give it instructions, give it conversation starters, those bubbles that you see, and also the knowledge base files. And we're not going to touch this part of it. Renee is a great name for a very reliable individual. I name all mine by name because it's just easier to say to my staff, go to CC and talk to her or the case. But so Margaret, yours is Renee, the virtual advisor's assistant. Okay. So I put all these together, Renee supports, and I might have to reduce this, but let's check. Okay, so I'm over this. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I know. So where did I have Renee? Renee supports Margaret, Franklin Chopper helping turn insights into action. The board includes Tim, Kevin Slimp, Brian Dorn, Sam Altman, Brian Tracy. This is the information. I'm going to read through this whole thing. Okay? Because I want you all to see the instructions. Okay. The knowledge base contains all the materials needed to train and deploy Margaret Ely's Board of Advisors customized AI chatbot. You have access to a knowledge base with the following files: Tim Bingaman, Kevin Slimp, Ryan Dorn, Sam Altman, Brian Tracy, Mike Ross, and Ann Handley. Renee has a profile. So in other words, if Margaret says to her, I want you to call up Ann and Mike and their information because I want to ask a question, she can then, this is her assistant. So Franklin Shopper, this section here are the files that will make everything work. So these are the files that are for each individual and the information that's on the internet that ChatGPT can use. But the ones below are like what drives the engine. Now, that we're going to be putting in very shortly. When the user, and I didn't identify you, Margaret, I just said user there because you might come in and want somebody else to ask it a question. Ask the question, match the question's topic, marketing, operations, policy against the advisor's tags. So each one of them has tags already in place that are chosen by the questions you ask it. Okay? Select as many of the advisors files based on the topic. So in the case of what we asked earlier, there were only 4 of my 8 that I have on my board of advisors that were actually in that conversation. When you use all the advisors in answering the questions, feel free to prioritize them based on their knowledge of the subject. For this chatbot, they can ask questions or be asked questions. When asking questions, the questions should be asked one at a time and wait for the response before moving forward. This is big because sometimes, if not done properly, they'll ask you a multitude of questions and you go, which one should I answer first? So for Margaret's, hers is set up that it will only ask her one question at a time. And then with the next question. When completed with their questions, they should ask, would you like to continue to have us ask questions or really drill down on the topic you are discussing? Identify who is advising with their first name and provide their answer in a very conversational way. Allow the advisors to interact with each other in the conversations being provided so the individual experiences the full effect of their recommendations. The advisors should use their tone of voice and frequent quotes to make it as realistic as possible. Right. Okay. So we're going to continue to build out here. Oh, before I move forward, I'm going to stop this for a minute. Any questions on that part?
Did you put the tags on those files for this different advisors or does it do
The
that?
tags are based on, the tags are based on the information that's found. It actually adds the tags.
Okay.
So in the case of Tim, it will be about analytics. And so if you ask questions about, you know, I'm having a problem with increasing my circulation or something of that nature, or a question like that,
Right.
Tim will be chosen. You know, he will come up and he may be the only one.
Okay, so that's not anything you added. It's just
I
pulling.
didn't.
Okay.
I did. All of
Okay.
that's based on what it finds and then knowing your needs. That's why we can go back and we can fine tune this to your goals later on, you know, because I do want to do that with
Okay.
you. Okay. So I'm going to continue to share. The next step, conversation starters. So this is a way when Margaret goes in here, she can go, oh, that's a good question, but I want to reword it. So the conversation starters are there to get things going right away or to help you. So I have 6 of them. I'm only going to put 4 in because I have found that even though I have 6, I have found that 4 will show up. You'll never see the other 2. So I'm just going to put the 4 in for you. So we'll see those. You see how they set up those? Well, let me see. No, wait, maybe it will. Maybe they made some changes when people were. Let me see if number 5 and 6 comes up. See, no, I don't see it. Nope. We're going to leave 5 and 6 off, but I'll give you those to you. Now, we have the name, we have your description, and now we have your conversation starters. But if we went ahead and started asking questions, we would get junk. So now we're going to upload files. Now, Margaret's all in here. And I'm going to add them. I have to add them individually, but what you're going to see come up is these files have been based on what Bob and I worked on to build out her customized chat. Okay. Let's go back into here. Now we have everything in place. We're ready to create. And we're going to save. Now we could say only me. You have options. You only me, anyone with the link, GPT store.
So how did you have Bob help you pull the information for the MD files for each
Yes.
person? So what?
I'll show you how that
What was your
looks.
prompt?
Pardon?
What was your prompt?
What my prompt is, I told Bob, so every Kevin Slimp and Tim Bingaman are totally different for you over what it was for MACPA. Because when I had it built out for each one of them, I say to it, build out the files for each of the individuals based on Margaret's needs. And that's because I wanted to be able to provide you with what you need. Okay. And it may be that once we get together, I may be totally off on what I shared with it. And we will want to rebuild their markdown files. So,
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
got it. Okay. So now Renee's there. She's with me, and what I'll do is I can go over and immediately share with Margaret. I can share. And I can copy the link and send it to Margaret after this very easily. And she can begin to ask questions. So I'm just going to take the moment to share. All right. I'm going to go back over to my ChatGPT. What question would you like us to ask?
I guess. Just do the first one, just to try it.
Okay. Now, I don't have to copy it from here because it's already there. So, what opportunities do you see for Franklin Shopper to reach younger audiences while maintaining its loyal reader base? It will help define why this individual is answering her question. And it'll say, and she is a marketing and content strategist. So it gives information on that. Okay. And then Kevin.
It's interesting. We've recently apparently had several advertisers starting to ask about QR codes in their ads.
Uh-huh.
See the comment from Ryan about
Yeah.
QR codes.
Yes. It goes through and we'll give the information, and this is in priority. Okay. So Renee summarizes it for you. What you could do is go back to any of these and you could say, Ryan, could you go into more detail on your comment? And I'll do that. And then Ryan will dig deeper. So the idea is not to just stop after they have answered the question. And she could go into this and say, should we charge for the QR code? Oh, look, Kevin has his 2 cents in. So here, would you like me to have Mike and Tim weigh in? So it allows you to continue a conversation with individuals you'd love to have in a group. So what do you think, guys?
I think it looks a little bit scary putting it together, and I'm
Right, that's where I come in.
reaching out to you to help me do that.
Yeah. And that's me. That's my part that I do. I would like Margaret gave me the information. I'm like, I need to be able to have a way in which to show you how this works. And I want to fine tune this even more for Margaret before, like it may be good now, but it could even be better. So, and Colette, yes, it's a matter of just, sitting down with me, you, and Bob.
Yeah, I would be interested in it.
Yeah.
I think it could be really helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
Fresh ideas, fresh eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there are certain things it won't do, Margaret. I want you to know that one thing, if you say, will you check our website? It says, I'm sorry, I don't have access. That is one thing the customized chatbots will not do. Okay. They won't go out on the internet. And the reason is they are about taking care of the integrity of the information that they have. So
I wondered about that, so I'm glad you
it's about
said
integrity.
that.
Yes. But what it is, when I wanted to learn more about Franklin Shopper and dig deep into Franklin Shopper, even though I could look at the website and just copy and paste everything, I wanted it more concise. What I did was I went into ChatGPT, or you could go into Claude or Gemini and grab a file, and then that file could be uploaded to the customized chatbot, no problem.
I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, yeah. An interesting thing about customized chatbots is like I'm going to invite you to receive Renee. And when you receive Renee, you click on the link and it'll open up in ChatGPT instantly. If you were to send the link I send you to someone else, they could look at Renee for one session and then she's gone. So ChatGPT protects the customized chatbots from people just, sending them out in bulk to people, because you can use it once, but that's about it. That's it. So definitely, if you have anybody else who you would prefer to receive it, you can let me know and then I can invite them. So, so, so those are some facts about the structuring of customized chatbots.